You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. What happens when the world's number 3 tennis star walks into a local park unannounced? What happens when a Grand Slam champion shows up, not for cameras, not for trophies, but for kids who never expected her? Today's story is more than sports. It's heart, it's community, and it's the moment New Orleans will never forget. What if I told you that one ordinary afternoon in New Orleans turned into a once-in-a-lifetime moment? What if I told you that dozens of young athletes, kids who dream of something greater, found themselves playing side by side with a global superstar? This is the story of Coco Gauff. Not the Grand Slam champion. Not the world number 3. But the young woman whose heart for her community is bigger than her accolades. On a warm Monday afternoon, at Joe Brown Park in New Orleans East, where kids gather with worn-in sneakers, well-used rackets, and big dreams, nobody expected anything unusual. The young players from A's and Aces, a year-round tennis and tutoring program, prepared for another day of training. They had no idea the moment that was about to change their lives forever. Because walking through those gates, with her signature smile and unmatched energy, was Coco Gauff herself. No press conference. No red carpet. No announcement. Just Coco, showing up for the kids. The same Coco Gauff who won the 2023 U.S. Open, who lifted the 2025 French Open trophy, who became one of the most influential athletes of her generation, now standing in front of children who never imagined they'd meet a superstar, let alone play with one. The reaction? Stunned silence, followed by screams of excitement that echoed across the park. Kids dropped their bags, ran to the courts, and gathered around her as if witnessing a superhero materialize out of thin air. For them, this wasn't just a tennis player, this was an inspiration made real. Coco didn't waste a second. She got right to work. She rotated through 3 courts, rallying with kids of all ages. She laughed. She coached. She encouraged. And when she reached the older kids, who were blasting the ball back and forth with speed and confidence, she smiled and said, "Oh, y'all are hitting for real." Then she jumped in. And the kids? They went from nervous to electrified. Every point felt like a championship moment. Every swing felt like a dream unfolding in real time, and in the background, children cheered louder than they ever had. Some yelled, "Oh my God!" Others simply stared, speechless, witnessing a moment they would remember for the rest of their lives. But Coco Gauff wasn't just here to play. She was here to celebrate something bigger. Because Joe Brown Park, home to 10 outdoor tennis courts, just received a major upgrade. Through the USTA's Open Legacy Initiative, created after Coco's 2023 U.S. Open victory, more than $110,000 was spent resurfacing the courts, replacing nets, and reviving a space where kids could access the sport completely free. Think about that for a moment. A Grand Slam champion used her legacy, not for personal glory, but to rebuild and re-energize a community facility for kids who need it the most. This is the kind of story we don't hear enough. This isn't about awards. This isn't about fame. It's about impact. A's and Aces co-founder Anna Monhartova said it best. It's an amazing day for the A's and Aces community that someone like Coco Gauff is coming here to see us and play with the kids. They'll have this experience for the rest of their lives. She's right. For many of these children, this wasn't just a visit, this was validation. A message that greatness can start anywhere, even from a public park in New Orleans East. And Coco knows this better than anyone. She grew up on public courts. She grew up believing dreams start small and grow with dedication. That's why she feels a responsibility to give back, to show kids that the path she took is possible for them too. As Coco moved across the courts, helping the kids adjust their grip, perfect their footwork, or control their spin, she became more than an athlete. She became a mentor. A living example of how far passion, discipline, and community can take someone. But the most remarkable part, she didn't act like a celebrity. She acted like a big sister, a leader, a friend. She made time. She made memories. She made an impact. In a world where attention often focuses on trophies and headlines, Moments like this remind us what true greatness really looks like. Not the wins, not the medals, but the heart. Coco Gauff could have spent her afternoon anywhere. She chose here. She chose these kids. She chose to invest in the future of tennis and the future of her community. The day ended and the sun dipped low over Joe Brown Park. The kids walked away with more than just photos and autographs. They walked away with belief. Belief in themselves. Belief that greatness can come from anywhere. Belief that someone who made it all the way to the top still remembers where she came from. And that, more than any trophy, is Coco Gauff's legacy, a legacy of giving back. A legacy of lifting others. A legacy of turning ordinary days into extraordinary moments. This is the story America needs right now, a story of hope. A story of community. A story of a champion who doesn't just play for herself, but plays for all of us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.